Sarah Connor, Ellen Ripley, Beatrix Kiddo, Buffy Summers. These are all roundly beloved characters, and I don't know if you've noticed, but they all have one thing in common. They don't suck. From the world of John Wick, Ballerina failed, but I really don't think it deserved to. In my initial review of the Ballerina movie, I noted that Ballerina features a lead female protagonist who isn't absolutely insufferable. Who'd have thunk that Hollywood could pull that off? I mean, I was just as surprised as everyone else was. The lead character, Eve Macro, had good motivation, she earned her ass-kicking abilities, and the film also does two things that so many Girlboss films fail to do, and that's acknowledge that the character is a female who has female limitations, and it doesn't neuter the character the universe is based around to artificially sell her Girlboss power.
I wasn't aware that was something a person could do.
It still bombed at the box office, bringing in a measly $25 million in its opening weekend. Luckily, it managed to squeak by and make its production costs back recently, taking in $91 million. I don't think the film deserved to fail, and I think that most of the people who went and saw it would agree with me in that. But even as some of my peers recently pointed out, we're going through a very strong bout of Girlboss fatigue. Nerdrotic's video on it was particularly good, and I'll link that down in the description. And if I'm being honest, I'm in that camp too. You ever been to a cheap Chinese buffet where you know for a fact they reheated the food that sat in a fridge overnight? That's the modern Girlboss trend. Only you know that they've been reheating that food for like 5 years now. After a while, you just stop going to the restaurant and you hope it closes down so it can get replaced by like a Five Guys. See, Ballerina was actually fresh food, but because we were so used to having crap shoved down our throat, people thought it was another warmed over plate of Kung Pao lectures with extra gender politics. It's unfair, but that's the curse that modern writers laid on the industry. Any woman who looks like she kicks any level of ass gets a swipe to the left. But do I actually think that people are sick of strong women in leading roles? Not really. See, I don't think that people are necessarily sick of badass women. I think what they hate is badly written self-inserts from bad writers. Snarky J had a really good video about this recently, and I'll definitely link it in the description. You should really go watch it. But I want to get a little more into the details, where the devil is. You can look over the past few years and see a pattern of self-insertion from writers for yourself. For instance, She-Hulk's writers took a courtroom-centric show and turned it into an anti-male slog made by single 30-somethings with a drinking problem. I mean, if they really wanted that show to be accurate, they would have had She-Hulk breaking down into tears and slurring insults about her ex-boyfriend over her third martini. The only character that I could relate to in that entire show was Mr. Immortal.
After any of the ends of these
Then you've got Mindy Kaling and her blatant disrespect of Scooby-Doo with Velma. The show was blatantly anti-male, had a stupid plot, and was woefully unfunny. We've landed on the moon more times than Mindy Kaling landed a joke in that show. It also featured no Scooby-Doo. Like, how are you gonna have the Scooby Gang and no Scooby? That is Scrappy-Doo energy.
Scrappy-Doo
was a hero. I just couldn't see it.
And of course, I can't mention self-inserts without mentioning the queen of all self-inserters, Kathleen Kennedy. While it's never really been confirmed, patterns get noticed, and it's been hard not to notice the similarities between Rey Palpatine from the Star Wars sequel trilogy and Helena Shaw from Indiana Jones 5, even down to the brunette hair and spunky know-it-all attitude. Not to mention the penchant to ruin everything that they're a part of.
And she was horrible at taking notes, and she was terrible, and she didn't really know how to do it very well. But what she did know how to do was interrupt somebody in mid-sentence. We'd be pitching ideas back and forth, and Kathy, who's supposed to be writing these ideas down, suddenly put her pencil down and would say something like, and what if he didn't get the girl, but instead he got the dog?
But I think the thing that really links the two is the fact that both Rey and Shaw are replacements for two aging men who have done great works in their time, but are now headed for the retirement homes and need to get out of the way for their far more capable and competent female proteges. I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
Indispensable people without whom none of us would be here tonight.
You can see that she's in a good mood. She's got smiles and stuff. She's clapping. You know, she's doing all that stuff
Indiana Jones,
that makes it seem like she's having a good time there. And watch her face. She's got a little smug look.
Is the glue to all 5 of these
Wait for it.
That gave us all
she's smiling. She's looking around. She's ready to accept her acknowledgement.
Maestro, John Williams.
And the smile just fades. She's not clapping anymore. But to dive a little deeper, it's not necessarily the self-insertion that's the issue. People self-insert all the time whenever they write stories or movies, and it really does often help to elevate the characters because it gives them an actual lived experience. It gives that character depth and realism because it comes from an honest place. The difference is that the strong female girl boss characters aren't just self-inserts. They're obsessive ideological self-inserts. The strong female character isn't really a character, it's more of a statement about society's expectations of women and the defiance of them. One of the big patterns in these movies is that the female protagonist is perfect. She's stronger than everyone else, far more experienced even when she has no experience at all, smarter and righter than everyone else around her.
But you have not seen what I've seen.
I have seen my share.
You have not seen what I have seen.
And the only problem she has is that she doesn't yet realize that about herself, because she's too busy obeying society's guidelines. The climax always involves this perfect character breaking free from her own mental chains and unleashing her full potential, making her even perfecter than when she started. There's no real character here. This is just neo-feminist messaging, and it's often intersectional in nature. So you're not just getting a bland feminist empowerment fantasy, you're also getting the socio-political commentary to boot. Think Barbie's anti-patriarchy message and The Last Jedi's anti-capitalism side plot that went absolutely nowhere. So not only are we getting a female protag with all the depth of a gym floor shower, but we're also getting a lecture about how our Western system is bad.
Sounds exhausting.
It's not the self-insert, it's the self-insert on a soapbox. So I don't think that female badasses are necessarily the issue. In fact, judging by how some of these characters are celebrated, society loves a good female badass. And I would dare go so far as to say that many people like a well-written Mary Sue. Wait. Hear me out. See, I've been defending ballerina's Eve Macaro, but what if I told you that there was another Eve? As I'm recording this video, the most popular character in video games right now is Eve of Stellar Blade. The game used to be a PlayStation exclusive, but then it got a PC port and players around the world are indulging in the excellent combat mechanics, incredible storyline, fascinating characters, delving into the mysteries, exploring the maps, and unlocking speed achievements.
Hey there. What are you watching?
There's just something about the game that I can't put my finger on. Eve is the epitome of a badass baddie, and even though she's something of a Mary Sue, people still love her. Why? The boobs help, I'm not gonna lie. But a large part of it is that there's no message behind the sword swinging and jiggle physics. Eve slays her way through monsters while unlocking an origin mystery that twists and turns, and she's not overlaying the adventure with a lecture about how monster slaying is overrepresented by men or some dumb shit. And honestly, I could go on for days just listing female badasses that people love. Yor Forger from Spy X Family, Motoko Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell, Mikasa Ackerman from Attack on Titan, Frieren. Hey guys, editing Brandon here. So I was going to include a clip of Frieren from episode 10 during her fight with the demon Aura. And I was looking for clips through YouTube, and every time I would click on one, it would prompt me to call a mental health hotline, because the line is probably one of the coldest lines in all of anime, possibly all of television history. And I can't tell it to you because I don't want YouTube to flag the video. So if you haven't seen Frieren yet, go watch it. It's a fantastic show. I'm a heathen and I watch the English dub. I know the woman who plays her. Her name is Mallory Rodak. She's fantastic in it. She's a fantastic person all around. So definitely go watch Frieren. Make it to episode 10, to the end of the episode, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about here. And you'll see why I think Frieren is probably one of the baddest badasses in all of fiction. Okay, back to the video. All badass female characters, all interesting, all beloved. The East gets it, why can't the West? The point is that audiences don't hate strong female characters. What they hate are narcissists wearing those characters as a mask. And this narcissism starts in the writer's room, where these talentless, ideologically obsessed hacks have no business being. They're just writing self-insert fanfiction, which usually involves them putting their socio-political opponents in their place through the power of feminist perfection. It's not just boring, it's insulting. It's like they're just nagging at us through a screen. Classic badasses like Sarah Connor and Ellen Ripley were written by people who respected the character more than they loved themselves. Modern ones are written by people who obsess over themselves more than they respect the character. As a result, you get a lecture in a wig instead of a hero in a struggle. Audiences aren't rejecting strong women. What they're rejecting is characters that exist solely to deliver someone else's TED Talk. And because of their selfishness and lack of talent, they ruined it for all the other women that are actually fun and entertaining to watch, including one Eve Macaro. I don't know how long this Girlboss fatigue is going to last, but I do know that it's going to last a lot longer if Hollywood doesn't learn this simple lesson. And we all know how good Hollywood is at learning lessons.
I think the problem with people like this is that they are so stupid that they have no idea how stupid they are.
Anyway, we don't need perfect girl bosses. What we really want is a female badass character that doesn't come stock with a wagging finger and a chip on her shoulder. They don't even need to wear a cow bikini. I mean, just get these narcissists out of the writing room. Later.